right, hello.
It's showtime.
My name is Bay Parkland. Welcome to Parkland Media. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, subscribe, thumb up the video, share everywhere. Okay, so this is from season 4, episode 10, really the entire series at this point. Spoiler talk. Hopefully, you've already seen it. You should have already seen it by now, but I know there's people who are outside the United States, outside of North America. They may, I guess, get the episodes a week or two after the rest of us do. I watch it on MGM Plus. Maybe you watch it on Paramount. However you watch it, hopefully you've already seen the spoilers for season 4, episode 10, and the entire series of From. I've seen a lot of From content with people who are making skits and stuff about From. It's starting to explode and blow up, especially during season 4, and for season 5 it's going to be even larger, and that's great. That's great. So what's going on? Raw 7388. Hey Spade. Hey chat. Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Hello, welcome. So just some notes to put out. So I tried to do a live stream while walking the Las Vegas Strip. I rewatched it. It was okay at first. We did it on Spade Parkland TV. It was okay as far as the video part of it while I was using the Wi-Fi at the casino hotel. And then the audio wasn't all that good. So, it's because there was all the noise in the background and the noise of the water fountain that I was at. And then while walking the strip, the audio and video went bad, and it's just because there's no Wi-Fi on the strip. So don't know if I'm going to do that again. If I do, it'll probably be recorded locally, and then I'll have it playing in the background next time we do a chit chat if we decide to do that. That was just something different to do for chit chat streams when talking about From and other things. So there's that, and also right after this is a subscriber live. So if you're a subscriber, you can comment in the live stream in addition to watching the content. After this, we're going to be doing a member live. You'll be redirected for that. So all you'll have to really do is click a notification to be redirected, or maybe you get a notification from YouTube. I think the link is in the description. We'll see. So what's going on, Mike? Welcome. Since I can't shake that From fever, there's no cure. What we're going to be doing From, especially in channel membership, we're going to be hammering it out because there's a lot of things to unpack with episode 10 that we just got this Sunday. And we also did a watch along in Discord. I posted that on this channel as far as what we recorded for that. So it's a lot to unpack, a lot going on, and a lot of unanswered questions. And so today we're going to just address the idea that the lightning that we saw in the middle of the episode was designed to turn the bottle tree into an exit. That's a theory. I also believe that it's possible that the lightning that went into the sky, the red lightning, may have eliminated the trap. So if the trap is eliminated, if there is no trap, what that would mean is they're basically just in America. They're in the middle of America, small country town, and because more than likely all the vehicles either have flat tires, like the bus, or have flat tires like the rest of the vehicles. Maybe the fuel is bad in the vehicles. I know the pickup truck and the other vehicle they used when they were uprooting the bottle tree, those work. And then also you have the ambulance, that works. But if the trap, let's say, is gone, that will provide a dilemma for season 5 if they go down this route. And what I mean is that if there's no trap, is there a moral obligation to stay in the township to defeat this evil? Because number one, if you can leave, it can leave, and then you may have a Armageddon end of day scenario, or possible the trap could be reestablished and then you're pulled back in. Then you have the idea that Fatima, spoiler alert, Fatima's a monster. Who would have thought that?
Oh my God!
I thought Fatima was going to be similar to the ghoulish children because one of the children's like faces with the varicose veins matched her stomach or her tummy. No, she's a monster. She's one of the walkers, one of the monsters. And you know what? I may go through the trailer for season 4, but when it said, don't quote me on it, but when it said, um, kind of like become what you fear, fear what you become. I think it was talking about Fatima because Fatima was afraid of Smiley, afraid of the things that walk at night, like she said in previous seasons. And now she's become one of them. And I think that she may even become an alpha monster just because of how episode 10 ended, where she's yelling at the monsters and they're just standing there looking at her. And the humans, the people in the township, that's Boyd, Jade, Tabitha, and Ellis, seemingly were allowed to escape unharmed. So what's going on? What's going on? Thriller says, what's up, Spade? Did you like the finale? I loved the finale. I thought the finale was great. I have no issues with it. I will say this much. It's not really a critique or an issue. I thought that Christy was going to be getting killed, not Marielle. So when I saw that Marielle was killed by Smiley, I was like, oh man. I don't want anyone to be killed, of course, because that means somebody's out of work. But Marielle being killed means that whatever ability that she could have gotten from being in the dungeon possessed by the supernatural cicadas at the end of season 2, we won't get a chance to see what ability Marielle had or could have developed or whatever. I mean, for all we know, Marielle could have walked to the middle of the ruins and story walked, even though it didn't happen for Randall. After Randall's face was scarred, he no longer saw the cicadas that was bothering him season 3. So we may get a chance to see what happens with Randall. Does he have some type of ability from being possessed by the supernatural cicadas? Maybe, maybe not. But as far as Marielle, we won't get a chance to actually see that because she's gone. Another thing is, so Raw 7388 says Marielle had to be killed. She had abilities. I think so. I think Marielle had some abilities. We can only speculate at this point. Unfortunately, we'll never know. Now, I do think that it's possible that we could see an evil Elgen. Let me explain. Evil Elgen.
Perfect.
And so the reason why I think we could have an evil Elgen is because Claire hid Elgen's body when Elgen died in the diner at the hands of Sophia. No one knows Elgen's dead. So that could be a form that Sophia could take, just in case if people put 2 and 2 together and find out about Sophia. Or wonder, hey, we saw you going from building to building. What happened? She could just go into the forest and just act like she ran away from home or something. And then having Elgin's clothes shapeshift into Elgen. And now you got Elgen running the show as far as being Elgen in yellow. And Clara being his henchwoman. And even with Clara, it's just odd. It was just odd for me to see that she's constantly being asked to do stuff over and over and over again. And even though she's scared and naive, it's just surprising that that the idea hasn't popped into her head that she's being used, she's being played. Because Sophia said, you have to help me. Like Clara asked, can I go home? And Sophia was like, you got to help me. Basically, paraphrasing. Well, Clara's constantly being asked to do stuff, and you would think after putting blood in Fatima's drink, that would be it. No, Clara is constantly being asked to do stuff. From hiding Elgen's body, covering up a murder, getting the talisman stones from the buildings and giving it to Sophia. I mean, Clara's got to realize, okay, I want to go home, but the thing that protects me from the monsters, I'm giving away. So even if I want to get rid of everybody else, sacrifice everyone else, and go home, I'm losing protection myself. And Sophia is not really giving me any assurances as to how I would go home. Because in theory, if you get rid of the trap, you're home. You could just walk off the game or walk out of the game, and wherever you are in America, that's, basically home, and you got to figure it out. So Mike says, Clara is the worst kind of coward. I agree. Red Star 24, I think Clara is too much of a coward to actually resist Sophia. I think so too. I think Clara would be open to helping Sophia forever. And Sophia would be dangling the carrot in front of her about, are you sure you want to stop helping me? Because then you won't go home. And now Clara's like, oh, okay, I got to do it. So I think that carrot's going to be dangled in front of Clara until Clara's no longer useful. Like, I think Clara's usefulness would be, or would end when someone sees Clara doing something, they confront Clara, and then while Clara's fumbling, bumbling, stuttering, here comes Sophia out of nowhere. Yeah, we need to put her in the box. And then Clara's like, no, you're the evil thing. You're the man in yellow. And Sophia's going to be like, what? So what are you saying? And I mean, who's going to believe that Sophia is the man in yellow? When we read the description of Sophia saying that she was a vulnerable, pastor's daughter, even though it turns out she was a fake priest's daughter, when you see her, you have no way of thinking that she could be a bad person. Just looking at her, you're like, no, there's no way that she could be evil. And then the way she came into town with the collision, and her father was killed in the accident, her fake father, it's very hard to believe, in my opinion, that Sophia would be anything than what she's portraying. So that's actually a good infiltration for the man in yellow to take all that form and come into town the way that it did, because even if someone spills the beans about Sophia, who's going to believe her? So Mike says, Clara would bring shame to the sanctity of the box. She just might. She might bring shame, but it may end up happening to where Clara gets put in the box, and here's what will be a trip. Sophia goes to Clara after Clara's been accused and is scheduled to be put in the box. Sophia goes to Clara and gives her a fake talisman stone. Like, just takes a stone off the ground, makes the engravings in it, and gives it to Clara as a fake talisman stone. So now Clara, thinking, oh, well, I'll survive the box, and then Sophia will come and rescue me. Sophia stops telling people about Sophia, the man in yellow, and what all Clara has done. So Clara goes in the box with the fake talisman stone, hangs it up, thinking that she's safe, and then gets torn apart. That's how I would, if I was a writer on the show, that's how I would get rid of Clara, is with a fake talisman stone. Matter of fact, I would even have Sophia make fake talisman stones and then hang them up in the houses so that people think that they're safe, but they're not. Like, oh, I'm safe. The monsters come just opening up the door, and people are thinking, oh, the talisman stones no longer work. That way, if Tabitha, for example, remembers how to make talisman stones, or Jade remembers how to make talisman stones, or either one of them have like a mushroom trip and they remember making talisman stones or seeing how they're made, they won't do that, thinking the talisman stones no longer work. So why make more? That's what I would do if I was a writer on the show. So if they take that idea, if you all see Sophia making fake talisman stones and gives them to Clara, and while people are like, oh my God, there's no talisman stones, and then Clara is like handing out the fake ones. People are like, oh, Clara, where'd you find these? She could say, I found them in the forest. People hang them up, and then next thing you know, a massacre. And then whoever survives the massacre the next day, they're looking at Clara, and then here comes Sophia accusing Clara of working with the man in yellow. Nobody will listen to her. They put her into the sheriff's station in that room that Victor was in. Sophia comes and gives Clara a fake talisman stone. They put her in the box. She hangs up the fake talisman stone. The monsters come and get her, and Clara's gone. That's how I would end Clara, so that the audience kind of gets a satisfaction of Clara being killed, especially because of the things that she's done on the show to cause Elgen's death, to cause Fatima to be turned into a monster, and the fact that she's just willing to selfishly sacrifice everyone to go home. Red Star 24 says, Sophia betraying Clara would be satisfying. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So Raw 7388, where is Amanda? I don't know. She'll probably show up. I mean, it is Friday. So Thriller, I just hope they remember those hiding spots they used to use. Yeah. I'm sure that Boyd remembers, that Donna remembers. Only thing about the hiding spots is that people are going to be cozy in their homes, and then they're going to notice, wait a minute, there's no talisman stone. And people are going to be scrambling for them, and then the monsters more than likely are going to be coming into the homes. Unless Fatima stops the monsters from coming in, and now Fatima, as a monster, maybe even the alpha, she has control over them, and maybe she'll say something like, I can't stop them from coming in, but I can hold them back and provide safety, but we need something, or I need something, so I'm stronger to be able to do that. And then Ella says, well, what do you need? And then Fatima will say, Monster Fatima will say, I need blood. And now the town is put into a dilemma of how to give Fatima this blood. And Fatima may say that it's not just blood. I need an entire body or an entire sacrifice to have enough blood to have the ability to control everyone else. Because, okay, in theory, the reason why at the end, matter of fact, let me just pull up the episode to get some visuals going on. Okay, so this is season 4, episode 10. So here's the final scene. Well, no, this is the scene before the final scene, because the final scene is Sophia and the boy in white. And I was telling you all, the boy in white is suspect. I've been said the boy in white can't be trusted. And what do we see in the final scene of season 4, episode 10? The boy in white is walking with Sophia, and they're just, just hanging out together.
I can buy you time.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Remember who I was?
Okay, remember who I was, right? Remember who I was. So here come the monsters Fatima's like, remember who I was? She looks at Ellis. She turns. And then she goes full bad cosmetic surgery.
Overkill.
No, she goes full monster mode. Full monster mode. And then while she's in monster mode, look at this. She's in front of the monsters, asserting her authority, asserting her dominance. Okay, asserting her dominance, right? So I think, and I could be completely wrong because, you know, I was wrong about the bottle tree moving from where it was based off of what Victor told Ethan, 4 inches. So I was wrong about the bottle tree. And I was wrong. I thought Christy was going to be the one killed, not Marielle. But here we are, right? So I'm thinking that the reason why, I don't know if the writers are going to go down this route because they're currently shooting season 5. So any ideas, any theories that we put out there more than likely won't end up in the show because they're going to film season 5 right now. But in theory, I think the reason why Fatima was able to hold off the monsters, even though she's a new monster, and these are like seasoned monsters, we're assuming that they are the original townspeople who sacrificed their teddy bears to have eternal life, and somehow they're monsters. We're assuming that these are the original townspeople. They've been monsters for like centuries, unless we hear otherwise. I think they became monsters mid-century, maybe 1950s, and that's why they're wearing 1950s clothes. And the original sacrifice gave them eternal life, which was like centuries ago. But then there's another sacrifice that took place mid-century that created the trap. Or maybe the boy in white created the trap. I guess we'll find out season 5. So I'm thinking that because these are OG monsters, seasoned monsters, they would be looking at Fatima like, nah, you new. You telling us let them go, you're new. How are you going to tell us and you're new? There's no way. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way. But in theory, I think that the reason why they're stopping and looking at Fatima yell at them and they're kind of like either submissive or acquiesce to her is because Fatima has Sophia's blood in her and they can sense that. I think that's also why Smiley, when Fatima yelled at him, turned back into human form and said interesting during the same episode, because he sensed that Fatima has Sophia's blood in her. So Sophia's blood not only sped up her being a monster, but maybe made her a more powerful monster than the rest of them. And that could be the reason why they're just kind of like sitting there getting yelled at, and you just joined the team because of maybe Sophia's blood. That's what I'm thinking. And it's a stretch, it's a yoga stretch, but I think that would be a great segue into Fatima being somewhat of a liaison between the monsters and the townspeople, because Fatima could say, okay, I can hold them back, I can control them, but I need blood in order to do that. The more blood you get as a monster, the stronger you are in terms of the hierarchy of the monsters. And so now the townspeople would have to sacrifice someone or think about sacrificing someone to feed Fatima to protect them because there's no talisman stones. And I know some people said, oh, well, there's a talisman stone in the peach truck, talisman stone in the clinic that Marielle dropped. I mentioned that on the recap I did, or a talisman stone in the cave system that Jade and Tabitha were using, there may be, let's say, 3 talisman stones in the vicinity. But now everyone's either crowded at Colony House, then you have the sheriff station, then maybe you have the gas station. Everyone will huddle in those 3 places, maybe. But the reason why that wouldn't be adequate is because you got Sophia and you got Clara. They could Sophia could easily say, "Oh, I missed a talisman stone," and just go grab it while everybody's distracted. So in this scenario, in this theory, there's no talisman stones. Fatima is your only hope, and I think that may be what Sophia was getting at with wanting to speed up Fatima's transformation, because Sophia wanted the people to have to choose who will be sacrificed to Fatima for Fatima to be strong to keep the monsters at bay. And Sophia may enjoy watching people tear each other apart, having to sacrifice someone to Fatima, and then Fatima having to absorb this person's blood and organs to keep the monsters at bay. In a way, in my opinion, it would kind of be like a necessary evil. So Red Star 24, apparently no one has eyes in the town. I guess so. I mean, the scene where Clara is going to the bar to give Sophia the talisman stones, there's no one around, and I think it may not be anyone around because everybody may be huddled up at Colony House scared because of the whole Rogers incident. They may be scared of what happens after the faraway tree gets uprooted. Then also you may have people hiding because there was just an earthquake and then it was nighttime during the day. So in my opinion, I think it's understandable for there not to be any eyes watching Clara have this meeting with Sophia, because down there at the gas station / bar, the only other building is the barn. And I mean, who really is at the barn? And then I think Bacta and Randall were more than likely doing stuff. No, Bacta was with the group Bacta and Randall were with the group getting the faraway tree. So everyone, in my opinion, was either on the bottle tree mission or at Colony House. So Mita says, "Yo, Christy had too much camera time. I wanted a flashback. I know, let the hate start, but who cares? What about Jim?" Jim's gone. Mita. Jim's gone. The Jim that we saw was more than likely the music box monster without the box.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Yeah, Jim's gone, y'all. I was thinking while watching episode 10, if we don't see an underground lake that some people theorized was the Lake of Tears, there's no Lake of Tears. So Jim, that being Jim at the RV talking to Ethan, saying to go find the Lake of Tears, the lake of Tears itself, you might as well just forget about that. I think the Lake of Tears was at the settlement based off of Ethan's saying that the Brundles was not the Lake of Tears. And then also, we haven't seen Jim, whatever that was looking around like somebody was after him. We haven't seen him since. So I think that's it. I think that's it. So Thriller says she's a hybrid. You think Fatima's a hybrid monster? I don't know. She looks pretty. She looks pretty convincing to me that she's one of them. I mean, if you think that the human form, I guess when not in monster mode could count as a hybrid, maybe, but she looks like she's yeah, there's no going back. So if Fatima was on your wall, you may want to take her down unless that's what you like. Okay? Unless that's what you like. Yeah, so if you are into that type of thing, you know, no shade. We're not here to shame anyone's kink, but I think Fatima is one of them. She's one of them peoples. All right. So Mita says Fatima is the mom of monsters. Yell at them and send them to timeout. Yeah, probably so. Probably so. I'm with Alice says, and Boyd always seems to have a talisman in his pocket. He normally does. So I think if Boyd pulls a talisman stone out, okay, cool. That's your one. Then there's one in the cave. That's two. And let's just say there's a third one, maybe the peach truck, the clinic, more than likely. So 3 right there. I think that once they hang up the talisman stones, Sophia is going to find some way to walk up and grab it. Or she may have Clara walk up and grab it. After Clara, let's say, decides to stay in Colony House, and Clara opens up a back door when no one's around. Because remember, if you open up a door or a window, talisman stone doesn't work anymore. It falls to the ground. So Clara could go, or Sophia can go spend the night in Colony House, open up a window, open up a back door, and while everybody's scrambling, running from the monsters, walk up, grab a talisman stone, and that's it. And I think if the idea that I presented with Clara going in the box is not a thing, I think what's going to happen is Sophia's going to tell Clara to open up a door. And when Clara's like, well, won't the monsters get me? Sophia would say, no, the monsters won't touch you, but the monsters end up touching her. Maybe Fatima finds out that Clara's the one that betrayed the town, and even though Fatima said that someone has to be sacrificed, Fatima may end up eating Clara, and that's like the first sacrifice for Fatima to hold them back. And then we may end up having conversations between Fatima and Ellis and Boyd and stuff. Fatima say, hey, I ate Clara. She was the first one. We got to find some more. And now between Fatima's feeding on Clara to the next go round, they got to figure out how to deal with Sophia and everything like that. It may end up being Fatima who tells the townspeople that Sophia is the man in yellow. And here's my logic. So in the scene with Kenny leaving the sheriff's station to stab the milkman with the totem, the monsters already knew the plan. So in my opinion, I think Fatima, being a monster now herself, knows everything the monsters know. So she would know Sophia is the man in yellow. And I think she would tell them that she can't, like she knows everyone in town, but doesn't know Sophia and doesn't know why. Or something like that. And so now they're suspicious of Sophia, and that would give a reason for the man in yellow to morph into Elgen. And now Elgen's like, ta-da, I've been hiding, I'm here. And now we get an evil Elgen or Elgen in yellow. I would like that. So Thriller says, Mita, what was he raging when it first happened? I don't remember. Oh, talking to Mita. So I'm with Alice says, go Fatima. Okay, so you're team Fatima, huh? Okay. Monster Fatima has a fan club already. We just finished watching episode 10 of season 4, and Monster Fatima already has a fan club. I like it. I like it. So Red Star 24, I think the first person Fatima ate was Nikki. I mean, yeah. She took a little nibble of Nikki, some Nikki nibbles. So, yeah. So Mike says, I genuinely hope that yellow suit is in a safe space or safe place and available for future use. It probably is. I'm sure that the man in yellow, Sophia in yellow, will pull it out. Wouldn't it be a trip if the man in yellow takes the form of Elgen, and then we see Elgen with the yellow suit? I mean, it wouldn't work because Tabitha has seen the man in yellow So it wouldn't work to try to do that, but wouldn't that be funny if Elgin puts on the yellow suit or something? But yeah, I think that Elgin in yellow may be a thing. Of course, I could be completely wrong, but if they do decide to do that, I would like to see an Elgin in yellow version, or we see characters get killed by Sophia or maybe Clara or something, and Clara's okay. Sophia's killing characters. Clara's hiding bodies all over the place, just hiding bodies. And Sophia is like morphing in, or the man in yellow's morphing into these other characters who have died. And it gives us a chance to see insert character's name in yellow. So Elgin in yellow, or let's see, who else? Let's say somehow, some way, Sophia kills. Let's see, what background character has been around for a while that really hasn't had. Okay, let's say Patty. Let's do Patty. Patty gets killed by Sophia. And Clara hides the body, puts the body in a trunk or something, and now we have a Patty in yellow. I think that'd be a great thing. Wow, Elgin in a yellow zoot suit. Yeah, I think that'd be cool to just see Elgin in that, and then also characters that we've seen, they get killed by Sophia one-on-one. Clara's hiding bodies everywhere, and then that character or that actor or actress gets a chance to play a version of themselves in yellow. I think that'd be interesting to see for season 5. So Janelle says, I think the monsters were like Fatima, but eventually being alive forever, you become animalistic because you no longer care for people over centuries. I mean, I can see that. The cowboy creature mentioned to Jade and Tabitha, he said, we're all here again. Let me play that. When he came into the cave, he was like, we're all here again, after the faraway tree got uprooted.
I can't come into the light, Jade.
Oh, no. Let me back it up. Okay, so this is the cowboy creature. We're going to watch him. He says we're all here together again, or something like that.
It's nice. All of us being together again.
So the monsters remember who Jade and Tabitha really are, as far as, I guess, the first version. So, in my opinion, I think the monsters, they were just bad people before becoming monsters. I mean, think about it. Just think about it like this. I don't know if you all have children or a child, or maybe you're someone who had a child and is now, the child has their wings. I don't want to get into all that and make anyone feel bad or anything, but no matter what circumstance you are, whether you're an aunt or an auntie or a godparent, or you have children or a child of yourself, or something happens, whatever, think about what it takes for you to be told you can achieve eternal life if you sacrifice your teddy bear. Think about how monstrous you have to be to hear that, and for you to be like, okay, let's do it. You have to already be a monster to do that. So I think that the monsters were just bad people before they became monsters. And I mean, obviously, right? Because if you're told you could have eternal life if you give up something important and precious to you, your own teddy bear, I mean, most people are going to be like, nah, I'll just take my chances and going to heaven or hell, you know, but they wanted eternal life. It was promised to them. It could have even been a lie. Think about it like that. Something promises you eternal life. Something promises you eternal life. And you're like, okay, you know what? We're going to do it. Not even thinking that not only do you have to sacrifice your own teddy bear, I'm just doing self-censorship if you're new and wondering why I'm saying teddy bear as opposed to child or children. You sacrifice your own flesh and blood. You're willing to do that. And then on top of that, not thinking this thing may be lying to us and nothing may happen. And remember what Victor said that the boy in white said to Christopher, the teddy bears were born in the dark and in the dark they were murdered. So in my opinion, the children were created for the sole purpose of being sacrificed. So with that being said, you have to be monstrous to hear about this bargain and agree to it, create teddy bears, have them, I guess, born in the cave, and you keep them in the cave till it's time to sacrifice them. Then you go through with the sacrifice and not even consider maybe this thing that promised you stuff could have been lying. That's a lot. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. So Janelle says, there was a reason. Maybe they needed eternal life for sickness or Smith, and the man in yellow tricked them. I mean, okay. They could have been tricked, but Fatima said season 3, episode 10, that she saw that those things, the monsters, they were promised eternal life to sacrifice their teddy bears. So I'm assuming that the trick was maybe they were turned into monsters, but not the eternal life part. Because it's only so much tricking you can do. I mean, with Henry taking out Victor, that's a trick. I can see that being a trick, but if you're promised something and then you get what you want, but with a twist, you still are being offered a bargain and still saying yes. So, for example, when Elgen, let me pull up Elgen. So this thing right here, Elgen is being offered a bargain to go home or help Sophia. Elgen is presented with that bargain, and it's like, basically, take my bargain or die. I mean, he could have tried to fight against Clara to get up out of there. I think he could have fought to get out of there. He didn't even try to do that. So let's just say that there's only two options, either take the bargain or die. Elgen chose death over dishonor, which is amazing. I think that's amazing. So if the monsters were presented with a bargain, accept my bargain or die, they chose the bargain like Clara. So yeah, you have to be monstrous to accept a bargain, knowing that you're going to cause evil and that the thing that you're bargaining with may lie to you and kill you. You have to be a monster to even consider the bargain and accept it, trying to save yourself, knowing that, again, it might not work out for you. So Mita says, kids are evil too. Don't trust anyone in from. Yeah, everything lies. Everything lies here, just like Christopher said. Everything lies here. So yeah. So Thriller says, if I was Elgen, I'm jumping out the window. Yeah, I mean, he had options. He had options. I mean, even with a bad hand, he has options. I think, I mean, I've said this before in previous streams and stuff. Elgen is just too nice. That's really what it is. Elgen is too nice. If Randall was presented with the same scenario and he wasn't abandoned, I think Randall would basically give Sophia the finger and try to jump out of a window, box Clara down, beat her up, pushed her out the way like Kenny did with Smiley. I think Randall would have been a fighter had Randall not been abandoned. Now, as far as Elgen just doesn't really seem like he's a fighter. He seems more like he's a gentle giant, a gentle soul. He's a believer when it comes to faith-based systems. He's a kind person, he's caring, he's compassionate. And it's a shame if they just killed him in episode 10 and we don't see him in season 5, because he had a connection to the township and had prophetic dreams that helped Boyd get the idea of destroying the music box, season 2. So Elgen, with his prophetic dreams and connection to the township, I would have liked to see more of where that connection would take us or take the story, but we can't see it anymore because he might be dead in terms of episode 10. But Elgen just seemed like he was a gentle giant. I mean, think about season 3, episode 10. He basically let them tie him up to a chair. He could have fought his way out of that. He let him tie him up to a chair. And after getting his eye ripped out, Boyd hit him in the hand with the hammer. Boyd used words to tell Elgen not to tell anybody the truth. And then when Fatima came in the kitchen, Elgin's just sitting there and telling Fatima, we got to get our story straight. So Elgen was already on board with somewhat making a deal with the devil, and he was the one harmed because he's a good person. He's too nice. I'm surprised he didn't accept Sophia's bargain simply because of the threats that Boyd made to him and that they tortured him. But it may be that Elgen turned down Sophia because the last time he helped out something in the township, which was the kimono woman, she abandoned him. I mean, when's the last time you seen the kimono woman? I'll answer for you. Season 3, episode 10. The entire season 4, no kimono woman. Didn't see the German Shepherds either, but no kimono woman. So that may be part of the reason why Elgen just started praying and didn't accept Sophia and Yellow's bargain, because the last time he took a bargain, he's missing an eye, hand messed up, he's still in the township, and everybody looking at him crazy. So Mike says the kimono woman was gonna have Elgin's back, but was running late. Yeah, maybe she was at the bus stop waiting for Bacta and forgot that Bacta was already in town with a flat tire.
Unfrickin' believable.
So Janelle says, the writers confirming Eloise died makes me feel stronger about my theory. Smiley lunged at Eloise in front of Miranda? What? Smiley lunged at Eloise? What? Smiley lunged at Eloise in front of Miranda? She cried over her remains all night and Marielle finished Miranda. What? Smiley lunged at Eloise? What? What I miss, y'all? Smiley lunged at Eloise in front of Miranda. She cried over her remains all night, and Marielle finished Miranda off. What? Y'all, what? Am I tripping? Am I tripping, y'all? What? Am I tripping? Jeanette, what are you talking about? Smiley. I think Smiley lunged at Marielle in front of Fatima the night Smiley killed Miranda. He did it. He didn't it to the night Smiley killed Miranda, he didn't. It was Eloise. So you're saying that Smiley lunged at Eloise the night that he killed Miranda? Wait, what? I'm lost. Not the show, but I'm lost as to what's going on. Let's do this. Let's do this.
I love you.
Okay, so this is the night. This is Miranda's last moments with Victor and Eloise. All right, hold one moment, y'all. Hold on. Okay, last moments right here. We're gonna watch it.
I love you so much.
Okay, Miranda's last moments. She left Victor and Eloise in the root cellar. So this is Miranda running through the forest. Now I theorized, I don't really have a connection for it yet, that Miranda was in the forest and then it went from daytime to night. And that's why she's running at night but left them in the root cellar during the day. It's kind of hard to make that yoga stretch because in episode 10 of season 4, it didn't turn night until the faraway tree was, or the bottle tree was uprooted. And we see Miranda running into the bottle tree before Smiley gets her. Okay, so this is the bottle tree. I've looked at the bottles and compared them to the bottle tree that was uprooted, and it's the same bottles for that bottle tree. I thought maybe possibly it could be the bottle tree that Sarah and Boyd went to season 1, episode 9, but it's not, because the tree that she bumps into is too thick to be a regular tree with bottles. Yeah, so that's the bottle tree. Unless there's more than one bottle tree, but I doubt it, because at the end of episode 10 of season 4, Sophia tells the boy in white, but the bottle tree is gone. So there's many faraway trees, but only one faraway tree that has bottles on it, known as the bottle tree. That's Smiley right there. So Smiley's about to pounce on Miranda. So you're saying that Smiley was shown lunging at Miranda, but the camera was cut weird. Victor said Marielle was eating Miranda. That means she was still whole and Smiley didn't eat her first. So in my opinion, I think that what Tabitha is remembering in this scene, and I'm saying you're wrong, because there's no wrong theories here, no wrong answers, but in my opinion, I think that Tabitha is remembering being Miranda in a different timeline than the main timeline that we're seeing. And the reason being is that Tabitha looked into Miranda's vehicle in the junkyard, season 4, and the memory she had of Miranda was in a different vehicle. So we'll let Smiley pounce on Miranda, and I'll play that for you. Okay, so he gets Miranda. So rest in peace, Miranda. Okay, so that's the Miranda clip. Now we're going to go to where Tabitha looks inside of Miranda's vehicle, confirmed by Victor, because he was sitting on Miranda's car while Jade was playing the violin. Let's see. Oh, and also just to kind of let y'all know, so this whole week, while I search to pull up this next clip, this whole week while I've been like out, I've been watching Widow's Bay, y'all. I think we're gonna do Widow's. Well, not think. We're gonna do Widow's Bay next. As far as like looking at stuff in addition to From. It's gonna be From all day, every day. Not really. Well, it's gonna be still From content, but I think Widow's Bay will be the next thing to kind of add besides doing movies and stuff, just to kind of give y'all a heads up. All right, so all right. Let's see. Is it here? Okay. So we'll do this. We'll do this. So Janelle says, oh my God, I forgot it. Showed it. I misremembered. Thank you. Okay, I appreciate it. But we still gonna go down this rabbit hole. Just in case if people are new and they're like, yeah, I think what she's saying is right. Okay, remember, or not remember, Ankui. So Ankui, when Tabitha looked into Miranda's vehicle, she remembered being Miranda, but the vehicle is different. Different steering wheel, different handle on the door. This is cloth. Miranda's in a leather vehicle. And let's see, let's go down some. Okay. This may be easier to kind of see. All right, bear with me getting this set up. And then we'll so I tell you what. What I had for today, we'll do it tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and that'll be the next live stream for the public, as in regards to the lightning possibly turn the bottle tree into an exit. So we'll revisit that for like tomorrow. For this one, basically it was Fatima being the, let me write this down. Fatima is the alpha monster because of Sophia's blood. So I'll change the title for this and do a different thumbnail. And the thing that we were going to do today, I'll do that tomorrow. And the reason being is because we're going to do a member live right after this and keep the party going for that. So just to kind of close this out. So this is Miranda driving in her vehicle, which seems to be a little bit more upscale than what's in the junkyard when Tabitha looked in the vehicle. So Tabitha is remembering being Miranda, we're assuming, while driving into the township, because we see the barn right there. And maybe she's been driving through a couple of times. And she's driving through it. Maybe that's the welcoming party right there. Like, she's driven through town a bunch of times. People have seen her, and it's women at the gas station to greet Miranda because Miranda may have been driving through over and over and over again, and they're going to tell her, like, look, you can't leave. This is your new home now. And we know it's more than likely not Sophia because we've seen a picture of Sophia, and Sophia is more stocky. In the Polaroid photo, and I know it's possible that maybe she could have lost weight being there a while. It is possible. Until we get some confirmation of that season 5, we're going to assume neither one of these two girls is Sophia. Okay, so this is Miranda's vehicle in the main timeline. This is Tabitha looking in Miranda's vehicle in this timeline. You see how it is cloth interior, door handles different than what we saw on Miranda's vehicle, different knob for the transmission, even the center of the wheel is different. Different vehicle. This is Miranda, but it's Miranda for the main timeline, whereas Tabitha remembers being Miranda from a different timeline. And this is Miranda's vehicle on the outside. Yeah, this is Miranda's vehicle. It is a Hornet. So in the main timeline, that vehicle that we just saw is a Hornet, and Miranda is in a different year Hornet. I did a whole thing on that. We won't go into that, but so in my opinion, Smiley jumped on Miranda from Tabitha's timeline that Tabitha remembers. So Smiley ate Tabitha and Miranda. Okay, now let me start over to not be confusing. So Smiley in Tabitha's Miranda's timeline ate Miranda in this theory. But in this main timeline, the man in yellow ate Miranda. So for all we know, there may be a version of Tabitha out there that didn't come into the township. Because in this theory, we have a version of Miranda who is Tabitha, who drove this vehicle, and this vehicle's not in the junkyard. Oh, so Mike says, I have the video file. Sophia's blood contains pure, uncut Ozempic. Probably so. Probably so. So who wants the video files? Raw7388, can we watch Widow's Bay on Discord? You'll have to talk to Amanda about that. Because when Amanda made the Discord, she made it for like Frumily. And I don't want to, I think that'll have to be a conversation, with her if you want to present that to her. But yeah, I have no problem playing it on Discord, like all the episodes. I think it's like 10 of them, that's all that I currently have. I have no problem playing it, but it's just a matter of, what she wants to do. I don't want to impose on her Discord. So Mike says, Widow's Bay has been renewed for season 2. Yeah, that's the reason why I wanted to watch it and cover it. I've seen so many videos. I think we're done with the whole Miranda thing and the timelines and this and that. I've watched so many television shows on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is pretty interesting. Can't wait for season 2. Then I go to Google, and it's like, it's been canceled. No season 2. Matter of fact, I saw one television show called Billionaire Bunker. It's cheesy. It's very cheesy. I watched it. I'm like, oh, okay, this is, besides the cheesiness and it being kind of like a soap opera and like a romance novel, besides those scenes, it was an interesting concept as to how they could do a season 2 with that idea. because, and there's no point in spoiling it because you're not going to see it because season 1's over with. But and it also has been canceled. One of the people escaped the bunker and is like in the real world. So now it's like, the bunker's done, but it's been canceled. So now I don't want to watch a television show if it's been canceled, because I'm going to want more, and then there's no more, and now it's going to be like that show Travelers, where at the end of the season, they do the Omega Protocol, and I'm like, oh man, it's game on. It's not like Donkey Kong. No, it's not, because it's been canceled. So Netflix has a bunch of canceled stuff. So when I heard Widow's Bay is going to be renewed for season 2, I'm like, okay, it's worth watching. So with Netflix, I'm giving you the side eye. If I see a new television show on your platform, I'm looking to see, has it been renewed for season 2? Because if not, I'm not going to get it. I'm not even going to entertain it. I don't even see why Netflix wastes time with that. Like, why present us with something and you're canceling it? If you cancel it, you might as well just stop promoting it. Let us stumble upon it and then put like a little warning. Hey, this has been canceled, but you can watch the episodes for your enjoyment. Okay, cool. That way I know what to expect after watching the last episode. So, just a little mini rant. Right, Mike says the premise of Travelers was brilliant. Yeah, I agree. I loved it. I like the idea of people from the future being sent to the past and taking over the body of somebody who has died and taking over right before they're about to die and like stopping their death and taking over their life to save the world. And then the idea that the AI that came with this protocol is not telling the travelers, or is not being realized that every time you send someone to the past and you prevent someone from dying, you create a new timeline. So there is no way to save the future because you're creating new timelines to save. So you're saving a future timeline, but not your timeline. It's actually the same premise with Terminator. Have y'all seen that new Terminator that came on Netflix? They presented that idea that Skynet is constantly sending Terminators to the past and they're creating new timelines. So there is no saving the world in terms of Skynet. Skynet's doing a fool's errand trying to save itself, sending Terminators to the past because you're creating these new timelines. I should have did spoiler alert. I'm sorry. If y'all want to see Terminator, Travelers, Billionaire Bunker with all the campiness, I'm sorry. I spoiled it. So David says, the idea aliens are us from the future was always interesting to me. Is that the that can't be the 3-body problem. I don't know what show you're talking about as far as aliens are us from the future. There's many shows like that. Not really sure which one you're talking about. So Red Star 24, that's always the worst. I remember I saw a Netflix show that was about teenagers having illness and using occult rituals to try and save themselves. It only had 1 season. Yeah. It only had 1 season. Matter of fact, even the that new Sabrina show, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, they basically just took 1 season and just chopped it up into 4 parts in order to, I guess, get around the idea that it was canceled. Oh, David says, I mean, in real life? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, Mita says, Chapel Wait, loved it and canceled. Yeah. So Michael Sullivan says, never got over the cancellation of Firefly. Firefly is a classic. Firefly is a classic, and we'll never know. We'll never know what to make of that. We'll never know. Okay, David's pitching a new show. Yeah, sounds like it. So I'm like, okay, I've seen shows like that where people are coming from the future and they're in these suits. Then this helmet gets removed. And, oh, you're human. Oh, we're humans from the future. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, so Mita says you got addicted to House of Dragons. House of Dragons is good. The guy who plays Damon, who used to be Doctor Who, you know how weird that is seeing him? He was Doctor Who, and then he was the guy in that vampire movie, Morbius, and now he's Damon on House of Dragon. Everything else I've seen him play, talking about Matt, I think it's Matt Smith. Everything I've seen him play, it's always like weird seeing him in these different roles because he doesn't really stick the landing. Like this is one movie where he was like this biker guy, and it was just weird. Him being a biker, and he was Doctor Who, but he makes Damon work in House of Dragon. Okay. So yeah, so what I'll do is we'll do the lightning was to turn the bottle tree into an exit tomorrow. This one I'll change the title to Fatima's the Alpha Monster because of Sophia's blood. So, matter of fact, let me do that now. Let me just do that now. Okay, Fatima's the alpha monster because of Sophia's blood and now needs sacrifices. Okay. And you know what? I didn't put the redirect in the comments. So let me do that right quick before we redirect in case anybody watches on the replay. All right, so the changes have been made. So if you're watching on the replay and you want to join us on the redirect to the member live, the link is in the description. All right, so yeah. So what do you think? What do you think? I think Sophia's blood has made Fatima the alpha, and that's the reason why if she's yelling at the monsters, they're kind of like just looking at her, and that Fatima's going to reveal to the townspeople, I need more blood to continue to hold them at bay. I'm going to need sacrifices. The rest of the monsters, they rarely actually eat people because they're not given an opportunity to do that. They will get that opportunity if you don't have protection. I can give you that protection, but I need sacrifices. And that would be an interesting twist because they need the talisman stone in the cave system, so they need Fatima's help. No more talisman stones in the township. They need Fatima's help. They need information. Fatima can give them that information. And also, they need someone to fight on their behalf, and Fatima will basically end up becoming the golem that she was making in her room. And you know what? It'd be nice if Fatima is allowed to come into Colony House to clean up her mess. Didn't she make a whole she made a whole mud monster, aka Golem? And now it's like, well, okay, who gonna clean it up? Fatima. So come in here and clean it up, and you go back to the cave.
If you haven't done so, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like the stream, fam. That helps with the algo. And welcome all. Don't forget to like, sub, and share. Thank you.
Yes, please and thank you. All right. So please and thank you. All right. So Mita says, from disappointed me last episode, I'm not going to lie. Wow. Why were you disappointed? Why were you disappointed? And then after that, we'll redirect. Why were you disappointed? So David says, we know the man in yellow can change into the form of whoever died in Fromville. I think it is the boy in white that is appearing as the mentors, like Katri, the bartender, and Young Jade. Could be. Could be. My only thing is we started seeing those vision versions of characters season 2. And the boy in white said that he was no longer going to help people, even though he's contradicted himself several times. So in my opinion, I think if he's the vision versions of characters, we would have gotten that season 1. But we got it season 2 after Boyd went to the dungeon, got the worms from Martin, and basically allowed the music box monster to be quote unquote brought back to town. So I think, in my opinion, the vision versions are tied to the events of the dungeon. So still waiting for Mita to say why she was disappointed with episode 10. I mean, to me, episode 10 seemed lit. While waiting for Mita to respond, here's why I say it was lit. It was on point. They gave us a lot to kind of like to feast our eyes on. And here's what I mean. Here's what I mean, y'all. Okay, this is episode 10. Let me make sure I got everything lined up properly. Okay, so this is episode 10. Look at everything that happened in episode 10. All right, so we got Jade and Tabitha in the cave. They're just getting bones, doing their business. And then Jade reveals that he lied about the bones. They're not protecting the chamber. Once the faraway tree gets uprooted, they're sitting ducks. And then just seeing the faraway tree get uprooted, that was kind of cool. We got some cool shots of the bottle tree. They've never really have given us a full shot of the bottle tree. And the bottle tree looks like it's like a tuning fork. With the split, there's no other faraway tree that's similar to that. The rest of them, they're like a regular tree. This is the only one that has like this V. So I'm pretty sure people will make theories as to why it was a V, like a tuning fork or something. And then guess what? The bottle tree gets uprooted. That was kind of cool to see. Uprooted. Boy can look down. And then, I thought, like I said before at the beginning of the stream, when Victor told Ethan that the trees move, and that they moved 4 inches, that the faraway or the bottle tree was going to be in a different location as opposed to being over the chamber, they lucked up. So that was kind of nice to know that, and then here comes the cowboy creature. He got some cool lines. Remember him? I like the cowboy creature and the promo for season 3 when he was telling Boyd, you said this place couldn't break you. Isn't that what you said, Boyd, and all that? And then, Tabitha's stunt double, seeing her fall to the ground. That was kind of cool. Boop. That was kind of cool, wasn't it? What else? Then it was nighttime during the day. We've never seen that before. That was cool. Then a whole earthquake. That was cool. They're out there and it's nighttime during the day. That was huge. I'm like, okay, watching Patty freak out. Watching them navigate. Oh, and then Patty in the vehicle and the vehicle driving. I mean, how? Mita, I don't know. I don't see how you didn't like this episode. Randall healed and Christy still limping. So Red Star 24, I have mixed feelings about the finale too. Yes, some characters had great moments like Jay, Tabitha, Boyd, and Fatima, and Christy. Let's not sleep on Christy. Christy had her moment. But a lot of characters had a mediocre ending like Julie, Sarah, Kenny, and Donna. What about Victor and his daddy? Like, come on. I'm not trying to defend the episode or anything. I'm just saying, Henry was sitting there on the bed with a revolver talking himself into taking out Victor. And then here comes Ethan. Henry points the firearm at Ethan. And then just seeing Victor jump up like that? Come on. I'm not trying to defend the episode while defending the episode. But watch this.
Hurry up! Well, you better shut her the fuck up back there.
Hey, look, everybody easy. Okay, take it easy.
Do y'all see that 360 camera? You know how awesome that is? Okay, so I'm into cameras. So just being able to just get this whole 360 deal where you're immersed in the vehicle with them and it's moving, y'all have no idea how this was just some really good cinema.
Listen, take deep breaths, right? Take deep.
But no. Videography is the proper term. So watch this. So like you get to see everything in a 360 like we're in the vehicle. They should have given us this. Matter of fact, I think they did give us this when Elgen was stabbed and Fatima's in the backseat with Elgen. Elgen's driving.
We're almost back to town.
It doesn't matter. We made things worse.
You see how this is great. This is great.
Wait, this place angry now. We're gonna be punished.
Great. We're going to be fine.
You are a liar.
Come on. Right. Mike says everyone hitting their cues on that shout. Yeah, because let me just fan out for a moment. You all have to understand that if anybody messed up, this is a one-take deal because the vehicle's moving, and if anybody messes up to restart, they may have to restart the entire scene. I mean, maybe if the person messes up their line, they just say their line again, but just to get the emotion and stuff and the fact that there's tension, this has to be crisp and clean. I don't think there's any edits in this sequence.
You promised we'd go home.
Patty.
Okay, babe, it was one edit right there. It was one edit, so maybe they did this a couple of times. But it looks really clean and fluid, even though we just saw an edit.
Yeah, and I can't do this. I don't want to be here anymore.
Like, y'all see how cool? I mean, to me, it's like being at a fair and you're riding a ride and one of the actors is like beating on the thing that you're in. Yeah, this is like going through like a fun house or going through some type of ride that's horror based, and it's just like bananas.
Hey, you good?
And then, I mean, do y'all? Then she fires it. Boyd comes and saves it at the last minute, saves Patty's life. But now, if a talisman stone is in the van, even though this back here is open and not protecting them, if a monster does come like the previous monster did, the monster can now get in the vehicle. Also, if they're able to close this back there and put a talisman stone up, they're protected. Patty just messed that up for him, even though we never had a chance to see that.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Huh? Are you fucking...
And look at this. I mean, they even have Bacta in here flipping out. Sarah's flipping out. Come on. This is like a big thing. This is great. To me. Now, again, if people are like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, Spade, but episode 10 didn't do it for me. Hey, no judgment. I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. Every theory is respected. I had a great time with this episode. I mean, you all saw the recap video that I did. I had fun with this. This, to me, it had the tension. It had the emotional heartbeats. It had everything that I have enjoyed about From in one episode. There were so many moving pieces, and the way they orchestrated everything was really, really great. There wasn't a scene where I'm just like, hurry up and get past this. Even when it slowed down and we got Sophia talking to Elgen in the diner, even that was like a what? Elgin's not dead already? And then seeing Clara stand up and get in the way of Elgen looking disappointed, establishing that she is on the evil side. There's no turning back for her. And Patty is the actress who's playing Patty is freaking out and crashing out the entire sequence and giving someone for Boyd's character to feed off of in terms of him communicating his emotion in the scene, trying to keep it together, hold the whole vehicle together. And they basically just took a L. They just left from uprooting the bottle tree. It's nighttime. The monsters are everywhere. Jade and Tabitha are left down there. And Boyd doesn't know if they're alive or dead. And just hearing him interact with Patty, this is really good chemistry.
Keep going! Just sit down!
And do you know how hard it is to cry like that? Patty is crying and crashing out the whole sequence. That's very difficult to do, even if you are scared, in my opinion.
Keep going!
Okay.
I mean, Patty basically made this scene. Besides the monster beating on the window, the actress who played Patty, and well, in addition to Patty, they made this scene have tension, and it really felt like it was possible they may not make it to the township. And then look who is the voice of reason. Look who they have driving. Remember, I'll say this and let it go. Acosta in this season crashed out and drove the ambulance through town and was basically going to just keep driving, and she was crashing out, and it got so bad that Ethan, who was I guess like 10 on the show, he's walking with a backpack. Acosta sees him and is like, nah, I'm out. And they have Acosta driving. That's how crazy this situation is. They have Acosta, who basically was wanting to take herself out, driving in an ambulance and ruined it because they had to pop the tires to stop her from possibly hitting somebody. They have Acosta driving out of everybody in the vehicle. Like you would think if Boyd's not going to be driving, they would give the wheel to perhaps Bacta. I mean, Bacta is a bus driver. Bacta is a bus driver. She used to drive for a living, but the situation is so crazy. They have crazy Acosta at the wheel. To me, this sequence was just like chef's kiss, but that's just me. You know, who am I? I'm nobody. I just really liked this sequence. I enjoyed seeing the bottle tree uprooted and the effects of that in the cave system. I enjoyed seeing Jade and Tabitha running for their lives, and here comes the monsters coming after them. I think it was Mike who described it as a shimmy. They're doing a whole shimmy through the tunnel, going after them, and then even when Tabitha and Jade make it to a dead end, the monsters are still trying to shimmy in there and get them because they got the bones. So I don't know. I just didn't really see. I mean, okay, if I had to cut something from the episode, it would be the interaction between Julie and Ethan. But even seeing Ethan crash out was like, oh man, he had the whole vision season 1 while he was in the RV. If he's afraid, it's bad news bears. I would have liked Julie to say, I'm going to save us. I'm going to story walk, but she didn't do that. She didn't do the thing. And just seeing Sophia basically waltz into buildings, watch this, just waltz into buildings and just grabbing talisman stones while no one's around.
Hello?
Hello?
Is anyone here?
Anyone here? No one's there, Sophia. Everybody's dealing with the bottle tree, dealing with the clinic. She knows that the whole town's going to be occupied by chaos, and here she comes as an agent of chaos, making things worse for season 5. Got him. I don't know. So Mita says, I forgot about Julie. Yeah. Okay, so Mita wants to debate it on Discord. It had a great cliffhanger. Yeah, it did. I mean, Sophia could have destroyed the talisman stones, but she chose to put them in the not the bottle tree, a faraway tree. So now it's like, well, where are these talisman stones going? Because she could have put them in the grotto cave. She could have kept them on her person or hid them in one of the vehicles. Again, destroyed them. She put them in the bottle tree. Not the bottle tree. She put them in a faraway tree. So now it's like, now you can kind of speculate, okay, why would she put the talisman stones in a faraway tree? And then at the end of the episode, she did what Jade and Tabitha did when they looked in the bottle tree after Dale went in. They looked down as if you could see what's beneath there. Whereas Sophia did it, I think Sophia can actually see the destination of the faraway tree, and that's the reason why she looked in. So Mita says, Henry to the box. Well, okay. In regards to Henry, I mean, the only way you're supposed to be going in the box is if you cause someone to lose their life, which is why it was justifiable for Sarah to go in there and Frank. But Henry probably is going to be given the same treatment that Acosta was given, and that he'll be given something constructive to do till he can be trusted again. Henry may end up moving into like the sheriff station or something, keeping him away from Victor till they quote unquote figure things out. It's kind of how Boyd does things. So I think Henry is going to just be he's going to be in the same room that Victor was in, and Henry's going to just be in the sheriff station till he could be trusted like Acosta. Because again, Acosta was driving the van, and it was so crazy. They chose Acosta, who went crazy and crashed out. They chose her, or let her drive over Bacta, who is a professional driver. Bacta drives buses as a professional driver. Doesn't matter if she's good, doesn't matter if she's bad. Bacta is a professional driver. And it's so crazy that Crazy Acosta is driving over Bacta, the professional driver. So to me, that was like my favorite sequence in the episode, was just seeing that the bus and just kind of like focusing on the different nuances as to why everyone was in the position they were in, and the fact that Patty was crashing out the whole sequence, adding tension to the scene. So Eddie says, Randall having his face healed that much from one episode to the next, definitely a huge clue. Julie isn't safe story walking with Randall. Yeah, I thought Julie was going to be story walking with Marielle, and we know how that turned out. Yeah, no more Marielle. So Red Star 24, I think, had this episode been like 2 hours with Julie story walking again, Sarah finding out about Sophia, and Eloise being shown, it might be a 10 out of 10 for me. Well, okay. You have season 5 to kiss and make up with From. You have season 5 to possibly kiss and make up with From.
That's a good girl.
So you got one more season to possibly have things made up to you, because in season 5 they may give a 2-hour episode 1 or a 2-hour finale wrapping everything up. You know, you never know. You never know.
Do you like games? Answer me when I ask you a question.
Yes.
I love them. I'm playing so many right now. There's 1 or 2 that need a little push.
Yeah, imagine 2 hours of games with Sophia. Can you win? Probably not. All right, so Mita says, who sewed up Roger's face, Patty? Probably so. So Red Star says, the episode needed those extra minutes for real, or just cut out the Clara reveal because that took up a lot of time last episode. Okay. So Mita says, Randall made a deal. I think he did too. He's been looking like he's contemplating something. I mean, let's say if Randall made a bargain, like Sophia presented to Clara when Clara first came into town, Randall may be thinking, I might take the bargain because stuff is going crazy around here. Everything that we tried has failed. They tried to sacrifice me. I'm still bitter about that. I need to get home to my family, including my nephew. I don't trust the leadership here. I could see Randall, I could see other people making bargains to get out of there. And whatever happens to people who are basically strangers, they may be like, so be it. Actually, you know what? Let me do a poll. Let me do a poll before we go to the member live. Would you make a bargain with Sophia? Yes, no. Yes, but I would betray her. Or need to think about it. Okay, so you got 4 options with the poll. 4 options with the poll. And the poll is asking you, the audience, would you make a bargain with Sophia? Yes, no, yes, but I would betray her, or you need to think about it. Like, I hear what you're saying. I need to think about it. I need more time.
Do you know who I really am? Maybe if you look closer. Does this help? Oh, God.
Yeah, so if you need more time, it's understandable because you just saw it be nighttime during the day, earthquake, red lightning in the sky. Fatima, who you've been hanging out with and you celebrated a 1-year anniversary with her, she's a monster now. And that one time you bumped her and you were having a bad day, you were having a bad moment, you gave Fatima a nasty face, maybe even called her out her name. Now you're thinking, well, wait a minute. Fatima's a monster now? I was kind of rude to her. I never apologized because I was on one. Now you got to think, oh, maybe she might come and get me. So if you got to think about it, it's understandable. Okay, so right now there's 6 votes. No one's thinking about it. Some people are saying yes, but I would betray her. Okay, so you would make the bargain. You would make the bargain.
We can change them into your family. This could be your mom, and this could be Julie. I know it's a little small, but we could maybe find something bigger.
Yeah, so you may end up being told you can go home, and guess what? This is your home.
This is my home.
Yeah, this might end up being your home. So if you're Randall and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make a bargain, what could be worse than this? If you're like, I gotta think about it, what could be worse than this? I mean, for all you know, it may require you to sell your soul, and you may think about it, well, I really don't use my soul anyway. What do you use your soul for? Or you may say, well, hey, can I lease my soul to you and get it back after a period of time? Kind of like how people lease cars. I can lease my soul and get it back. So Mike says buying time is the best option if she's got you cornered. Yeah, I mean, it's either take her bargain or die. So Red Star 24, I gotta survive long enough to snitch. Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised Clara's not snitching. I mean, she sees that she's constantly being asked to do stuff over and over and over again. Clara, sooner or later, is going to realize, okay, I'm being played. Unless Clara is kind of like, you know what, I'll do whatever it takes to go home one day. As long as I'm next to Sophia, I'm protected. That's probably what Clara's thinking is, as long as I'm buddies with Sophia and near her, I'm safe. I should be safe. So it's kind of like, okay, if you've ever experienced this while being in school, like high school, junior high, or just, school period, you may have known someone who was a bully, or you knew some bullies or whatever, and they always have like people with the bully. So the people with the bully, they help the bully, and the idea is if I help the bully and I'm with the bully, I won't be bullied. That may be what Clara's thinking is, I don't want to be bullied, so I'm going to hang out with the bully, laugh at the bully's jokes, and help the bully attack people to prevent from being bullied. That may be the logic that Clara has. And we'll explore Clara. We'll explore Clara on another video, maybe sometime next week or something, where I'll lay out the logic in that Clara should be forgiven like Sarah, no matter what Clara does.
Wow.
I'll lay it out. I'll lay it out.
You suck.
So that's just some future nuggets for you to think about, or to kind of give you a way ahead as far as that. So tomorrow we'll do the lightning was to turn the bottle tree into an exit. We'll explore that. And then we'll do Clara right after that one. And we'll kind of go from there, kind of breaking down season 4, episode 10 and other theories as far as from content. So Mita says Clara held some talismans back. We'll see. We'll see season 5. We'll see season 5. All right, so we're gonna end. So out of 53 people, we got 13 votes. Would you make a bargain with Sophia? So 54%. So Sophia, 54% say that they would say yes to you but betray you. So watch your back. Then we have 31% saying, no, I'm going to go out like Elgen. And then 14% say, yes, I will be just like Clara. I know who the winning team is. Wow. So for you Clara-naughts out there, the Clara-naughty who are like, you know what? I'm going to be just like Clara and save myself. Shame on you. Shame on you. So thank you, Amanda, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Amanda says, sorry, I fell asleep. Forgive Clara. Yeah, you know what? Amanda comes in. Yeah, we gotta, I mean, if you can forgive Sarah, you can forgive Clara. And I'll lay out why Clara is not as bad as Sarah. I'll lay it out, y'all. So Amanda Kenny in the house, thank you for coming in and donating. I appreciate it. The replay is just as good, y'all. The replay is just as good. So David says, I don't think you get to double cross a Faustian bargain. Yeah, I mean, a bargain's a bargain. So let's just say, hypothetically, Clara was wanting to betray Sophia sooner or later. The issue is that what Clara is wanting is something you could dangle over her head indefinitely. So Sophia can ask Clara to stab someone, take a vehicle and drive it into Colony House. Clara can be asked to do stuff over and over and over again because the bargain is you help me, you get to go home. Because there's no specificity as to the help, you're constantly being asked to do stuff, and you're almost an indentured servant indefinitely. Because it's up to Sophia when she wants to let you go, if she lets you go. Because for all we know, Sophia can win the game and then tell Clara, okay, it's over with. Now you can go home, and you're going home to glory. And we know what that means. Okay, you're going home to glory, Clara. Yeah. You going home all right. Also, you're already home. You're already home. Colony House is your home. Yeah. You home all right. Yeah. Your home is being on the first floor of Colony House, and you're having to constantly listen to people do stuff around you while you trying to sleep. You trying to sleep, and you hearing a whole bunch of adult themes around you. And you're thinking, oh, I want to go home. You are home. You are home. Take a page out of Victor's book, You Are Home.
This is my home.
And this is your home too.
Is this helping?
A little, I guess.
Yeah, Mike says clap, clap, clap. Yeah. Someone's getting the brakes beat off, and it's like, this is your life. This is your home. Yeah. It's like growing up in a foster home, and you got the teenagers sleeping next to the teddy bears. And the kids are just trying to sleep, and they're hearing the teenagers do teenager things. It's like that. It's like that. So, yeah, if I was Clara, I'd be like, I'm trying to get up out of here. I'm trying to go home. And then at the end of season 5, before Sophia tells Clara, give me your hands, like she did Elgen, you are home. And then Clara's like, ah. So Mita says, question, who did Clara make a deal with? What person, who, what, where? So Mita, you might have missed, I guess that was episode maybe 7 or 8. But Clara made a deal with Sophia. Yeah, Clara made a deal with Sophia. Mm-hmm.
Come sit.
Yeah.
You don't have to be scared.
So, yeah, Sophia and Clara have a bargain going on. And Clara wants to go home.
Do you remember the bargain we made? Good. Because I need you to do something for me.
Yeah, Sophia said, I need you to do something for me. That implies it's one thing. But Clara is being asked to do stuff over and over and over again. And that's the gag right there. That's the gag. Sophia said, I need you to do something for me. But it's turning into you being a gopher, having to constantly do stuff over and over and over again.
Do you remember the bargain we made? Good. Because I need you to do something for me.
Yeah, something. Not some things. That's plural. Something. So if I say, hey, can you do something for me? It's implied you're only doing one thing. Now, if that something is like something with a whole bunch of steps, I should communicate the steps to you for the overall thing. Sophia, I mean, unless it's said off camera, hasn't communicated that to Clara. So Clara is just accepting being this henchwoman, this minion, and there's no end in sight. So Mita says, I know man in yellow, but what form? Who? Sophia showed Clara the black eyes when lowering the glasses, and I guess whatever form the man in yellow took had black eyes, and then that's the indication that the deal was made. So Mike says Clara hasn't even seen the trap she's in yet. Yeah, she hasn't. Amanda says Clara would have recognized Sophia without the eyes, though. So in my opinion, I think because Clara knew Sophia's name, I think without seeing the black eyes, she knew it was Sophia, but the black eyes that Sophia made communicated, I'm Satan, and I'm the one you made the bargain with. Right, so Amanda says, I would say the man in yellow, the black eyes were the key. Yeah. So Mike says, clap, clap in general population. Yeah. Yeah, that's what first floor of Colony House is. It's whatever happens, happens. There's no one you can go and like tell, hey, they're doing XYZ while I'm trying to eat. Donna will probably tell you to shut up and go to another part of Colony House till they're done. We're all grown here on the first floor. So it is what it is. we're all grown on the first floor. One day you may be able to move up to the second or third floor where you're in a room in one of the suites. But until then, you're on the first floor and whatever happens, happens. So Just Jeff says Colony House is a death trap. I don't know, when there was the massacre when Kevin opened up the window for Jasmine, some people made it out. So I think Colony House is just more along the lines of I don't know, I wouldn't call it a death trap. But I'd rather be in the town than Colony House, just because I think it's presumed you get more privacy in the town. But then again, one of the houses in town could turn into Colony House if there's like an increase in population. I think that's one thing that they should explore for season 5. Have more people come into the town. If you're going to do a massacre, do it right. Have it to where season 5 opens up and they show the houses in town and it's like full of people. They have children in the rooms, adults in the living room and in the kitchen, all sleeping, and it's like no space in any of the houses. And then someone says, hey, isn't a talisman stone supposed to be up there? Then the door opens up, it's Smiley, and it's just like a rampage. They should do that. They should do that. So David says, town wants to escape, Colony House wants to party. I think Colony House wanted to party before Kevin opened up that window. Once Kevin opened up that window, it was game on. As far as everyone working together to get out of there. And I think that's what prompted people in Colony House to be open to the idea of working with Jim and Jade on creating a tower and using radios to call for help, because the atmosphere of Colony House that Donna was mentioning about the booze and banging each other and stuff, and basically being like a fraternity house and a sorority house, that went away once Kevin opened up the window. Remember, Donna said that Colony House was better than the outside world. I'm like, oh, okay. And some of you all have said, yeah, I would like to live in a place where there's no bills, there's no debt, no responsibility. I can just sit around and just hang out and chill. Running water forever, electricity that's unlimited. And then I pointed out that there's no air conditioning in the summer, so everybody's musty. There really is no central air for heat in the winter, so everybody's like going to sleep, huddled up in blankets and stuff. Using a fireplace that only can do so much for like, a room or maybe a lower part of a house. But if you live on the second floor and you're used to being on the second or third floor, there's a fireplace on the first floor. Now you may consider going down to general population to be by this fireplace. But there's no deodorant, no soap, unless you bring it with you or you make it. Everybody is taking baths with just water. People are up there thirsty. Yeah, I don't know. Then Kevin opened up the window. And you may get another Kevin moment in the future. So being in the township is just bad all the way around. Yeah, Eddie, Fatima was the Colony House Green Thumb. Now, instead of her smoking plants, she's going to be smoking residents in the township. Maybe, maybe not. So Amanda says, if I could recharge my electronics for downloaded material. Well, hold on. If your electronics require a network to operate, but yeah, you could have your phone fully charged and be playing games as long as you don't have to like have internet in order to play the game and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, you could be playing the games all day, every day. So Amanda says Team Town. Okay. Okay. So Mita says, all I need is a Gus and a talisman. Well, there's no talisman. So I think there's no talisman. So, you know, that's that. And then what if you're in the township and you meet someone and they're incredible, you're having a great time, and next thing you know, they find the talisman stones, you're safe, you're hanging out with this person, and next thing you know, you hanging out with them, and they're like, oh hey, hold on for a second. They open up a window and they start to morph into Doug. There you go. It's not fun anymore. It's not fun anymore. So Eddie's making a correlation between Fatima and Jasmine. Jasmine said that she didn't ask to be this way. And Fatima's now a monster and didn't ask to be that way as well. So yeah. So when season 5 comes, if Fatima is aware that she's a monster and she's still able to be talked to and reasoned with, and they can actually trust her, I think Jasmine may be talking about possibly being born a monster. Or maybe Jasmine was turned into a monster like Fatima. I mean, the way the show is going, I don't know. Anything is possible. There's literally no wrong theories, no wrong answers. Anything's possible. Okay, so we have been on this thing 2 hours. I've had a great time. We're an hour over. I was supposed to be doing a member live. We're actually going to redirect to the member live now. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, I know. So we'll hang out again as far as a chat tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern for everybody who's a subscriber. Everyone else who's a member, there's like 200 of y'all. Maybe all y'all will show up for the live stream. Maybe some will watch on the replay. We're going to be redirected to channel member live stream right now. It should prompt you to be redirected. If not, the link is in the description. And if you're watching on the replay, I just put the link in the description for you to click on that and join us for the member live, and we'll party over there. So Mike says, great live. Well, okay, great live right now, but there's more party after this. So be there or be square. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things. We are out. I'll see you on the member live in a few moments.